Hi, hey, and all those other greeting Spade Adventurers. Welcome back to SpadeGalzProductions gaming and boxing channel, as well as SpadeGalzOriginal with Girl Cyclones, Quintcore, Florali, and Vlogs with me, Jake Spins. And today we are going to be talking some Smash Brothers. That's right, we got a ton truck, ton cake, ton pounder, whatever you want to call it, a moon dropping of Smash Brothers content, and the name Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is just fantastic and amazing. And we're going to talk about that. But instead of talking about, you know, the new fighters like Inkling, Ridley, Daisy, anything like that, stages, no. We're going to talk about one element that they have revealed. So, in the whole entire big 25 minutes that they showed off just in the Direct alone, they revealed something called Echo Fighters. And what Echo Fighters are is it's basically Smash Switch or Smash Ultimate's version of clones. I don't know what they're doing with Dr. Mario, Roy, Pichu. I have no idea. They'll probably change them up a little bit so they're more semi-clone than clone. I have no idea. I don't work with Sakurai. But what I do know is that Sakurai said because the whole roster is returning. If you missed that, yes, the whole history roster. We have 3 links here. We have everyone. We have Snake. So people are so excited. I know people are excited for Wolf, Snake. I love the fact that Squirtle is back. Yes, I was never played as him that much, but I love that he's here, and I'm definitely not going to take that for granted now. So many different things. But he has said, because of this, because this alone, all of the returning, plus the new, we already have labeled like 66 characters on the website. And if you count them all up, the Echo Fighters plus the 2 representatives that aren't counted in Pokemon Trainer, that counts as at least 70 characters in this game standing right now. Which makes sense that they wouldn't have a whole bunch of new characters, which Sakurai already said. So what I'm thinking is that why would you have only 3 Echo characters? Because you wouldn't just make a section labeled Echo characters. You wouldn't find a new name for them if there wasn't a reason. And my thought on that is that clone characters or Echo characters would not take as much time to develop. They'd take maybe a month to develop. Again, I'm not a designer. I don't know if that's accurate or not. But it would be a month compared to maybe 6 months developing a character or something to that effect. Because of that, I feel like most of the new characters are probably going to be Echo characters. Because again, it would be weird if you only had 3 Echo characters. Because of this, I have made a list. I was going to do a top 10, and then I was like, okay, I don't have enough for a top 10. You know, this is off the bat. E3 Day 2 is happening in like an hour as I'm recording this. So I really don't have time at all. So I was like, okay, then I'll change it to top 5. Turns out, when I look through it, I have 7. So I'm in the middle of 5 and 10. But top 7, I don't know, maybe I'll call it top 7. Who knows? We'll figure that out later. But we're going to talk about who that Echo character would be, who they'd be cloning, and why. So, some would be more detailed than others. I don't know how long this video will be, but let's find out together. So, in no specific order other than probably how I came up with these, the first character we're going to talk about is Dixie Kong. A lot of people have been saying, if there is, at least me and from what I've heard, a lot of people have been saying Dixie Kong would be a great representation for the Donkey Kong series. While people do want King K. Rool, you know, there's a bunch of legal stuff that they probably have to go through or had to go through. I have literally no idea with any of that. Guess I'm editing this now. Well, I was trying so hard to not have to edit this video because of my limited time schedule, but I guess we will because The phone decided to ring, and we have caller ID. Thanks, person. Anyway, though, talking about Dixie Kong. So, I feel like she'd be a very good fit for an Echo character, even though, yes, she is a character that would work great alone, but the reason is she has the same structure as Diddy Kong. So hitboxes, they'd be basically the same. You wouldn't have to change you'd have to change a little bit, but not that much. Her moveset, just a little bit of change probably here and there with certain things. You know, like instead of a peanut gun, she'd have whatever weapon. I don't know what weapon Dixie Kong has. And then for her up B, she could still have the jetpack, but she'd probably have like a hair twirling thing. But everything else could easily translate because a lot of Diddy's moves are more based on the fact that he's a monkey. And, you know, down B with the banana thing, it makes sense. That's where I'm getting at with that. So the second character is Metal Sonic for Sonic. Now, as a giant Sonic fan, I have two things to say. One, I know everybody's like, Shadow would be the Echo character. I get that. And I get the fact that other Echo characters could easily be fleshed out to be their own characters. I totally understand that. Daisy has a bunch of things that they could have done, and probably the other ones too. You know, and I get that. But the thing is, Shadow, while he's very similar to Sonic, look-wise, character-wise, and the way he works is extremely different. Because he can use Chaos Blast, Chaos Spear, Chaos Control, completely out of what Sonic can normally do. He can do so many different things. His style is very different. So a lot of the moves might feel a little bit awkward because the things that they could share is homing attack and spin dash. But that's really where you cross the line mostly. Because, you know, and if he's in, he probably will be an Echo character. And I'll just have to live with that because Shadow would be in. But the reason why I'm picking Metal Sonic is because while he does have differences, while he can use electricity and do all these different attacks like dash attacks and laser attacks, he's a metal version of Sonic. And what I've seen from these so far is most of them, Dark Pit, another version of Pit. Lucina, pretended to be Marth in the future, basically looks like Marth. Then you go to Daisy. Daisy started off as just a recoloring of Princess Peach and became her own character. So it makes sense that those would be an Echo characters. And again, I don't know what the rules are. And Metal Sonic was created to defeat Sonic by being Sonic. So it makes so much sense. Wow, you could do so many things with Metal Sonic. You could do a lot more with Shadow as his own character than Metal Sonic as, you know, his own character. So that's why I'm feeling like if they did do a character for Echo, it would be Metal Sonic. At the same time, they did replace Shadow's assist trophy with Knuckles. So maybe Shadow will be in. So he probably will be an Echo character, but if he's not, that would be ecstatic. But either way, I feel like it is that time for that Sonic rep. I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent. Now, this third one I have to credit my brother on, because he came up with this one, and that would be Birdo for Yoshi. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Birdo doesn't have a tongue, and it would be really weird for this dinosaur to have this huge hole in its face, and just this tongue to shoot out. And I know that the eggs come out of the mouth. You can change that a little bit. Tweaking is okay. But it would work kind of like Yoshi and kind of like Kirby or maybe Wario. Something to that effect where you would get the opponent, you'd suck the opponent up, and then it would come out of the neck. You know, whether that's through the mouth or through the back, it doesn't really matter. Other than that, functionality, Birdo hasn't really been defined as a character. You can do anything with Birdo. I'm sure they can figure something out with the flutter jump, because I don't know if Birdo can flutter jump. But there's so many different things that Birdo's not a defined character, so it's okay to just put a different palette on Yoshi as Birdo and copy all of the moves with that little tweak. It makes a lot of sense. Now, this other character, again, we're back onto what I'm thinking. I don't think this is very likely because I don't know if they would do newcomers having echoes because it's a new character. It'd be kind of weird to showcase new moveset and have an echo. But hear me out here. Octoling for Inkling. Now, I know a lot of people would love this, but the reason I'm saying this is because you can still have that slight difference while having the same thing. In Splatoon 2, they had the Octo weapons, which worked just a little bit differently from the others. You could easily make other Octo weapons. I'm not sure what Octo weapons there necessarily are, but you could easily create Octo weapons for all the stuff, and they wouldn't all have to be Octo weapons because it's an Echo character. So it would control exactly the same. It would just be cosmetic, and you'd probably give the Octolings maybe a little bit more power, little less speed, or probably keep speed the same, and then probably just tweak power and defense. That's what I'm thinking on that one. The next one is Isabelle for Villager. While they are very different, again, cosmetically, Isabelle doesn't have any fighting thing for her. And she was a costume inside of the Wii U, giving her even more potential to be in the game. Also, I haven't seen her as an assist trophy. If you were to make a clone of any Animal Crossing character, it would only make sense to do for Isabelle, because while she's very new coming in at New Leaf, she's still very iconic, surprisingly, to the series. She's at that level of Tom Nook and all these other big name characters, Crazy Red, Timmy and Tommy, Lyle, and she's only been in since, as I said, New Leaf. So it would make a lot of sense to have her because it would give you another female character, it would give you another animal character being a dog. Why not? It's an Echo character, so, you know, you can't really do much with Isabelle if you put her in Smash as her own character anyway. So, it just makes sense. The next one, I know it's a little bland, but hear me out here. Mrs. Pac-Man for Pac-Man. Think about it this way. In Sonic Dash, Mrs. Pac-Man worked the same way. Motto was the same. All they had to do was slap a bow, slap lipstick, slap basically the eyelashes, and they're good. They didn't have to work for it, which is why she was put in Sonic Dash, because it was doing the exact same thing. It was just a costume change. And it would put another female into Smash. And I know what people are saying. We have a decent amount of females already added. Why not choose like a villain or something? And why would Pac-Man necessarily get a new representation? Again, this is speculation, and that would be for an Echo character. And you wouldn't have to do anything. It would make so much sense because it would be very limited design. You wouldn't have to tweak any of the moves. Moves could be exactly the same. And then maybe raise defense. Like, defense would be her bigger quality. Then you could probably raise the speed like a tiny bit. And then power maybe a little bit more because, I don't know. But she'd probably be, if anything, maybe more speed. Because there was the Mrs. Pac-Man game. So it's hard to say. But again, you could do a bunch of different stuff with that. And because you wouldn't have to do that much, you could do as much tweaking as you'd like to do. Now this last one, I was toying with a few ideas. I was toying with the idea of maybe Petey Piranha as Bowser. Which I know you guys are probably like, what? Because this next one is Dry Bowser as Bowser's clone. Which, honestly, I feel like would be a fantastic skin for Bowser, as would many. But you could easily do very many things. It would be probably a lot less defense. It would be like the Mewtwo treatment. Mewtwo is a giant glass cannon. He has so much power that he packs. And Bowser already packs a giant punch. But he's like a feather. And I feel like Dry Bowser would be one of those characters where you could get like a good 30, maybe like 40 out of a smash attack easy. And while you're like, wouldn't that be overpowered? Remember, he's just bones. So one smash attack would send him flying. It would be a single trade-off, you know, and they would have to do a lot of balancing with that. But maybe you get him to like 50 and he's flying across the stage. Or, you know, less than that. He'd basically be lighter than Jigglypuff, or as light as Jigglypuff. And the reason I said I decided not to go Petey Piranha while I was toying with the idea is because, as I said, all these characters seem to be basically very similar with the character. And while Isabelle isn't, there's really not any Animal Crossing character that is, and it just makes sense. But Petey Piranha, you could do a lot of different stuff with him, and, you know, it would be easy to put him in Bowser's set. So if you want to add that, go ahead. And then I stayed away from cross series, which is why I did not say Dr. Eggman being a Echo clone of Bowser Jr., because he'd be very close to Bowser Jr., even though there's a lot of differences that you could do. But again, this isn't a speculation video for new characters, how they could control. It's who could potentially be an Echo character. None of these characters are confirmed. It, again, as I said, is just speculation. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to do more predictions or discussions, whatever, with Smash Bros. Ultimate as it's coming up. And just every once in a while, bring the topic up, put it on YouTube so that you guys can see what I'm thinking, and then I can see what you guys are all thinking. Let me know if you guys want me to discuss any other topic of Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I will do my very, very best to make sure that I get that to a T and talk to all of you guys about what it could be. You know, new skins, whatever you want to talk about, because I would also love to do moveset speculations, which a lot of other people have already done anyway. But yeah, that's going to be it. So E3 Day 2 is happening in an hour. I'm super pumped. I don't think they're really going to reveal anything, but let me know. What do you guys think they're going to reveal? And I know I said I wouldn't do a video today, but we will be streaming Octo Expansion later today because it does come out. And the only reason I'm doing this is because A, it's not that hard to do, and B, I really just wanted to talk about this topic because it's such a nice, easy one to talk about. And before I leave, if you have any ideas for Echo characters, let me know who that character is and who they would be cloning. And all that, if you want to give a moveset, fine, doesn't matter. But simple little discussion. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in the next video, and keep your toes safe.